What is up, friends? My name is Laura. If you've never visited my YouTube channel before, welcome. Today I'm coming to you from the beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Again, I'm back here for a little bit just doing some training. Many of you know that I've been training for Aconcagua, as I did do it last year, but I was not able to summit on the actual summit day because of the weather. Today I'm going to be bringing you through here with my trusted companion here, my dog Thor, who unfortunately won't be doing the actual mountain, but he does help me with my training. I'm going to be talking to you exactly how I have trained this year for this, and I'm even going to compare it to last year. And I really honestly, I took so much out of what I did last year and kind of some of the things that I did right, some of the things that I wish I did more, and I'm going to be telling you exactly my steps for getting prepared for this year for hopefully that excellent summit. So last year I signed up around May. I had been doing a lot of hiking, a lot of kind of multi-day hiking and all these kind of things on my travels. I decided I want to do a big mountain, went for Aconcagua. No regrets there. But since I didn't really start fully knowing that that's what I wanted to do till May, June-ish, that was like 7 months before I was actually going to be starting. Less than that, 6 months. So for me, I went in right away training super hard, but I didn't really have that base, and that's what I really focused on this year. Since I'd been doing so much hiking last year, I hadn't really done a lot of weights weight training, and not to say I'm looking for my 1 rep max in bench press, but at the same time, it'd be like, fatiguing your muscles, doing a lot of different pull-ups, push-ups, like jump squats, all of these different things, just trying to get that muscle mass still in there. And that's kind of was my base. I also made sure to be testing on a regular basis this year. So I started February 1st in my training, and every 8 weeks I've been testing. One of the best things that I purchased was my Garmin Watch, and it has been wonderful. I didn't really know what the benefits would be, but honestly, like seeing my heart rate, seeing when I'm actually, maybe slacking a little bit, seeing when I'm exerting myself, maybe even a little bit too much, and kind of going by that, being able to track it and see the progress that's being made has been huge. Anything that I do have, including even the gear that I'm going to for Aconcagua with, I will link it below on Amazon in case any of you are interested, like a Garmin watch, but I do recommend them for training. So that was able to kind of, for me, look at my numbers and kind of see where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from someone who has never been hiking, has never done any of these kind of things, but it was important kind of to see so that I can see the progress, so that I can see, oh, I want to be working harder over here. So the things that I would do every 8 weeks would be kind of all out sprint, kind of not sprint, but as hard as I possibly can go for 15 minutes. And I'm seeing how high my heart rate can kind of stay at a high pace. And then after that, I would kind of stop and do like a very slow walk and see how long it took for me to get my heart rate back down to what it was before it started. I also would be doing things like push-ups, how many I can do, pull-ups, sit-ups, kettlebell swings, all of these kind of things, like I'm saying, every 8 weeks, and I do that over a week span, so it's not like I'm super exhausted from my run, going into a bunch of kettlebell swings for 5 minutes straight, and I would just be able to track it. So I'd write my numbers down in my Garmin, I would save that workout, all of those kind of things, and I found those very motivating. I'm a numbers person. I like to see what's working for my body, what's not. What works for me may not work for you, but I'm just giving you an overall view. Last year when I started training hard in like May, I really didn't have that base. I didn't really know what my max heart rate was or what my resting heart rate was, or seeing any kind of improvement. So I kind of just went in and I started like lifting pretty hard. I probably could get 1 pull-up now. I'm up to 8. So just those kind of things and kind of working hard. I also trained for like a half marathon last year for end of September, and that was just to make sure I was getting that cardio shape in that I wanted. Even though, it wasn't even that difficult, I would say, for me, just because I was doing so much cardio. But this year I've just focused on a ton of hiking, a ton of running, because I like running as my cardio. I also do like Stairmaster. So it's just been like a little bit of everything in terms of about 5 days a week, at least, sometimes 6 for the actual cardio. And I've been doing that pretty much straight since February. I also was traveling for about 2 months. I went up into Canada, went on a road trip, so obviously I don't have this set routine as much. I'm not going into the gym all the time. When I could go to the gym, I went. I would find a park to do some pull-ups. I'd be able to do, you know, a series of like jump squats and all these kind of things, and then I'd be able to hike lots, run lots. So even when I'm on the road, I honestly have tried not to find any excuses to keep going towards my goals. So I've been very, very consistent, even though for that 2-month span, it wasn't as consistent as when I'm just kind of living out here in Phoenix, but I still was working out honestly 5 to 6 times a week. With about 4 to 5 months to go until I started doing more carries, so weighted carries in my bag. And actually when we were on the road, my dog Thor, he actually got like a hurt paw and he wasn't allowed to do these hiking with me, and I still wanted to be hiking a lot, so I threw him in my bag and we got to still hike all over North America. But it actually caused like a great thing because it got me really used to a weighted carry where normally I wouldn't start until like maybe 4 months. It does beat your body up. Like my whole joints will ache so much more, obviously on a weighted carry, especially if I'm going downhill, but it's something that you want to do. My whole thing is when you're climbing a huge mountain like that, you know, you're not gonna have as much oxygen. You can't control the weather. You can't control all these things. You might as well be controlling what you can, and that's kind of the shape that you're going into. So that hopefully, yeah, can't breathe, all these different things, like getting frustrated, this and this and this isn't working, but I'm not frustrated that my body, and I'm not frustrated that I just didn't train enough. So right now it is mid to late October and I'm out here, and my dog is about 25 pounds, and then I have about 15 extra pounds in there. So I'm doing about 40 pounds right now. I will bring that up to 50 pounds here, and I'll also make that 2 times a week. If I'm just taking Thor for like just a casual walk in the evening, this sounds silly because I'm just going around my neighborhood, but I'll always throw my big bag on, put a bunch of stuff in it, and just start walking. And one of the reasons, there's many reasons, and just kind of getting used to that has nothing even to do, like you can be the strongest person in the world, and if you're just not used to it, like for me, it always like makes my lower back a lot more sore, or it'll bruise me in certain places suddenly when I haven't had my bag on for a while. Just all of these things. The other thing is normally your traps get sore because you kind of you're tired, so then you bring them up, which is a shrug, but that's gonna like prevent the oxygen coming through. Hey, I already am at like 50% loss of oxygen even at base camp for Aconcagua, so I don't need less oxygen to be coming through. So that's just another reason, huge reason to do a weighted carry. I have a 55-liter bag on, and that's normally what I'll always train with, and there's an extra 10 liters that I will be using for actual going up Aconcagua, and this will be the bag that I'm using. So when I'm wanting to, I want to use it too. I also, last year I did a lot of more on the Stairmaster. I would bring this in and I'd put like a 35 or a 40 pound dumbbell in there and not be allowed to hold on and just start walking, and I'd walk for an hour, and I do that a couple times a week, or yeah, a week. This year I haven't been doing that, but I probably will start incorporating that into my routine as well. But that's another just easy way to kind of get used to having a large backpack on you. I start the actual hike with one other person December 17th, and about 2 weeks before I'm heading over to Peru, to kind of southern Peru there, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm just doing some acclimatization hikes, going to be in, you know, a high elevation city, so hopefully that's an advantage to me, and it's really beautiful there, and I wanted to always check it out. So I'm going to be doing that, and I think that will help as well. But during that time, I'm really like, I don't want to get injured during that time. I still want to be super safe, so I'm going to be over there, but kind of tapering off some of my training, but just kind of making sure to keep the heavy backpack in, just doing these high elevation carries to just over 5,000 meters. On my last video, when I just talked about the difference between, or what I'm doing differently, just mentally going into it, on my last video, I'll link that below, but I had people reach out to me, and that was really fun that you're heading over to do it. So if you are, I would honestly love to hear when you're gonna be there. If you've ever done it before, or honestly, if you plan on ever doing it, it's a bucket list. So let me know in the comments. I'll also leave my Instagram, so you can always just send me a message there too. But I hope that this video helped, whether you're wanting to do it or you're just wondering how the heck you train for, you know, a 3-week climb or anything like that. So this will be the tallest mountain that I've ever done, just under 7,000 meters, highest outside the Himalayas, and I'm super, super excited. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Keep living life. Bye.